There's something that's in the news regarding Israel that you have to hear, and this is one of the most serious articles I've seen leading to the mark of the beast, that you cannot buy or sell unless you have a certain mark. And this is something that's leading the way to that. So let me share this from Israel 365 News the other day. It says Israel moves closer to cashless society following the latest legislation. This article was put out on August 1st of 2022 by Adam Eliyahu Berkowitz and was published in Israel365news.com. And it says, a new Israeli law will go into effect on Monday, which was yesterday, prohibiting cash payments of over $1,760, 6,000 new Israeli shekel NIS in cash, or bank checks for transactions between a person and a business. The ceiling for transfers between private individuals will be $4,400, NIS $15,000. Instead of the current amount, almost $14,700. Since January of 2019, Israeli businesses and consumers have been subject to limits on cash payments under the law for the reduction in the use of cash. Previously, the use of cash up to $3,200 could be used in business deals. The ceiling for card transfers will remain the same at nearly $14,700. The reason behind the new law was explained by Tamar Bracha, who is in charge of executing the law on behalf of Israel's tax authority, to the media line. We want the public to reduce the use of cash, Bracha said. The goal is to reduce cash fluidity in the market, mainly because crime organizations tend to rely on cash. By limiting the use of it, criminal activity is much harder to carry out. So basically the whole idea is total totalitarian control. And they're just using the excuse of criminal behavior, just like they do with, they punish the 98% that are not criminals, by imposing stupid things upon the righteous. And then the 2%, we all have to suffer for the 2% or 1% that's a criminal element. According to Globes, there will be a grace period of 2 years before the tax authority starts imposing fines on those who engage in cash deals of up to almost $2,500. Are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding. This is the law they're putting in place, telling people that they cannot use their cash. It's just a horrible, horrible addition to everything else horrible going on. Transactions with charitable institutions and trade with Palestinians from Judea and Samaria who are not Israeli citizens are exempt from the new law. But a detailed report to Israel's tax authority will be required. So let me get this straight. Let me just read that again. Transactions and charitable institutions and trade with Palestinians from Judea and Samaria who are not Israeli citizens are exempt from the new law. So they're only going to punish the Jewish people with this totalitarian law and not these Palestinians, so-called, from Judea and Samaria. Free loan societies, gemakim, widely used in the Haredi community, will be exempt from the law in keeping with the demand of ultra-Orthodox lawmakers. Okay, so that's interesting. It is expected that in the future, laws will be passed prohibiting the stockpiling of more than NIS 200,000 shekels, which is US dollars 58,660, in cash at private residences. In June, the Bank of Israel announced that it would test the feasibility of a retail central bank digital currency known as a CBDC later this year, with results expected by the end of 2022. A CBDC, like other digital payments, would be easy to trace and monitor, and that means track you. Track your every move, your every buy, your every sale. One of the obvious downsides is the new regulations make it difficult or impossible for people without bank accounts to handle their finances effectively, criminalizing most financial activities. At the time the legislation kicked in, there were over 1 million citizens without bank accounts in Israel. The law has also been criticized for being racist, creating a loophole for so-called Palestinians. These laws restricting the use of cash are being passed in many countries and are expected to become more common in the future. And there's a Twitter feed from the jpost.com. Lynn Alden says, Israel is tightening their ban on using physical cash above certain thresholds, including between private citizens. She said, I think this trend will probably continue to other countries over time. Lark Davis, a crypto influencer with 1 million followers on Twitter, made this prediction on Saturday. From Monday, Israel will ban cash payments over $4,400. That means you cannot pay cash for a used car, designer bag, or any other high-ticket item. Not the first or last country to introduce such restrictions. According to media reports, the Israeli government is in the process of creating a regulatory framework around digital assets. Rafi Farber, an Israeli economist and financial journalist who blogs and videos under the pen name The Endgame Investor, combines Torah knowledge with financial wisdom. He was critical of the new measures. The short-term consequences are scary, Farber warned. The long-term consequences are worse. In a cashless system, inflation is more extreme and faster. It means that the government or whoever has access can track everything. Everything. Even the smallest transactions will get taxed. A teenage babysitter will have to pay taxes. This is absolutely anti-Bible, which is anti-Christ. And those are my words, anti-Christ. Farber added, he says it's anti-Bible. Jewish law goes into great detail about how to handle finances and transactions. Charging interest is a grave sin. If this facilitates interest, then it is expressly forbidden. The temple was based around the silver half shekel, which had to be a specific weight of actual silver. According to Jewish law, money is silver, Farber added. But this isn't about silver or money. The whole idea of centralized currency is geared towards control of all the money, which is theft. And that is clearly forbidden. This is all geared towards tyranny, which is the ultimate idolatry. So, are you shocked this is taking place? I mean, this is a law just passed on Monday, yesterday, to implement this, that you cannot, if you have money saved up, you cannot just take it out and buy whatever you want. They're putting a lid on you being able to have freedom. And this is just despicable. But what does Revelation 13:16 say about the mark of the beast? And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. So this trying to control the cash, trying to take away your freedom, trying to not allow you to buy certain items. I mean, like you would not be able to take, let's say you were going to put a down payment on a house, you wouldn't be able to take a cash payment and get that house for yourself. And the list goes on, you know. I mean, this is just another worthless order that's despicably bad. I'm not saying this is the mark of the beast, but I'm saying that they're taking away the cash, and in that woman's words, she said that that's what they want to do, is to prevent people from using cash. And then they have the gall to say that they're going to start fining anyone who goes and purchases something if they spend too much on it and go over the limit that they have set, which is unlawful in itself. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. This is insanity. And as in the words of this guy Farber, he says this is absolutely anti-Bible. This is what he's basically saying. This is the Antichrist system setting up right before our eyes. How long do we have here? We don't really know, but this is one of the most dramatic things I have seen in regards to them trying to implement the cashless society and, you know, just have total totalitarian tyranny over all people in all countries, and starting in the Holy Land of all places. Do you think God's happy with this? I don't think so. To make it a crime to pay cash is a crime in itself. These people are going way too far. They have way too much power, and they need to have the power yanked out from under them that are implementing these diabolical, ungodly laws that are anti-God, anti-Bible, anti-Christ. And how despicable for them to implement that in Israel, and to not implement it on the so-called Palestinians shows you that it's aimed at the Jewish people, the people that they don't want to have the land of Israel in Israel. So this is just despicable news, and one more step towards the fulfillment of the satanic order that is soon going to be destroyed by the return of the Messiah of Israel. The Davidic dynasty is returning. King Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach of Nazareth, is coming, and you don't want to be on his bad side. So you better repent and get right with him. Get your heart right with him. Turn your heart towards him so that you don't perish when the judgment and wrath comes. Because the people that are going to be in this time of the wrath of God, it's going to be worse than anything you've ever seen. And believe me, you're not going to feel sorry for them, because it's their choice and they set all of these things up. And the judgment is going to come upon them, and they're going to be eventually destroyed by the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. This is a huge advancement towards the system of Antichrist to put a mark on people. And if you don't have that mark, you cannot buy or sell. They're already putting a cash limit on what you can buy and sell. And this is just, it's just going way too far. You know, can you imagine everybody too? I was thinking the other day, can you imagine like somebody had their electric car plugged into the outlet in the wall here. And I was thinking, is everybody supposed to have an electrical cord to plug their car in, like some sort of cartoon? And then if the power grid goes out, you know, for weeks on end, you cannot charge your car. They want to have total control over you being able to drive. So, you know, they've hiked up the gas prices so you can't go anywhere because they think it emits the carbons that they don't want you to travel, which is why they shut down the airlines in 2020. And, you know, they wanted you to cover your face so that you didn't breathe carbons in and out because that's too much. And then the cows kill over dead because, you know, oh, they emit too much carbon in the air. And this sickness is a mental sickness with these people, and it goes on and on and on. But we do have hope because Jesus is coming, and you do not want to be on his bad side.